Welcome to this episode of the story. Have you subscribed yet? Chapter 100, Racing Against Time and Finding Hope in Desperation. In Linksea Town, Sumu and the others were intensively preparing for the search for the remaining 2 artifacts and the matter of artifact integration. Based on Sumu's research on the connection between the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss and the 2 existing artifacts, they had deduced some key clues about artifact integration, but still lacked sufficient information to ensure the success of the integration. In order to obtain more knowledge about artifact integration, the elders of Linksea Town rummaged through ancient books, trying to find clues from the historical records of the spirit fantasy realm. With the help of the illusory figure, Sumu used the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss as a medium to attempt a deeper communication with the artifacts, hoping to obtain guidance on integration. During the communication with the artifacts, Sumu entered a trance-like state. He seemed to be in a space filled with spiritual power runes and the spiritual power fluctuations of the Ice Spirit Holy Staff and the shadowy spirit chain intertwined around him. As the runes flickered, some vague images flooded into his mind. The images seemed to show the ritual scene of artifact integration and the special spiritual power conditions required. Sumu tried his best to capture the details in these images. When he woke up from this state, he was already sweating profusely, but his eyes revealed determination and excitement. I probably know what special spiritual power conditions are needed for artifact integration, but some specific materials are also required for assistance. It is said that these materials grow in the hidden places of the spirit fantasy realm and are extremely rare. Just as the people in Linksea Town were about to embark on the journey to find the special materials, the intelligence gathering personnel sent an urgent message. The mysterious force had dispatched 2 elite teams, heading towards Lingfang Valley and Lingyan Mountains respectively, with the remaining 2 ancient spiritual power artifacts as their targets. We can't let them get the artifacts first. Sumu was extremely anxious and immediately decided to divide the forces into 2 groups. One group, led by him, including the mysterious spirit beast and some relatively powerful cultivators, would go to Lingfang Valley to seize the artifact. The other group, led by the elders of Linksea Town, would go to Lingyan Mountains. The team led by Sumu quickly rushed towards Lingfeng Valley. Lingfeng Valley was located on the edge of the spirit fantasy realm. It was surrounded by howling winds, and the wind, attribute spiritual power inside the valley, was in chaos, making it difficult for ordinary people to approach. When they got close to Lingfeng Valley, the gale roared towards them like sharp blades, trying to tear everyone apart. Sumu waved the Ice Spirit Holy Staff and used the Ice Spirit Wind Barrier. A thick ice wall instantly rose up, resisting the invasion of the gale. The mysterious spirit beast spat out purple flames, trying to melt the surrounding condensed ice and open up a path for everyone. However, the power of the gale was extremely strong, and cracks continuously appeared on the ice wall under the impact of the wind. "Everyone, hold on and follow me closely," Sumo shouted loudly. At the same time, he circulated the power of the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss, trying to stabilize the chaotic wind, attribute spiritual power around. Under the effect of the order power of the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss, the power of the gale weakened slightly. Taking this opportunity, everyone quickly advanced towards the valley. After entering Lingfeng Valley, they encountered the Wind Spirit Guardian Beast. The Wind Spirit Guardian Beast was shaped like a huge goshawk, with cyan wind, attribute spiritual power swirling around its body. With a flap of its wings, powerful wind blades would be generated and shoot towards everyone. Sumu quickly used the shadowy shield of the shadowy spirit chain. The faint blue shield protected everyone inside. The wind blades hit the shield, splashing out rays of light, but could not break through the defense. The mysterious spirit beast launched the first attack. It turned into a purple shadow and pounced towards the Wind Spirit Guardian Beast. The Wind Spirit Guardian Beast spread its wings, quickly dodged, and spat out a cyan wind, a tribute spiritual power beam, which collided with the purple flames of the mysterious spirit beast. For a moment, light shone brightly, and spiritual power overflowed. Sumo seized the opportunity and used the Ice Spirit Reverse, Time Piercing. An ice cone containing ice, attribute spiritual power and reverse. Time spiritual power shot towards the Wind Spirit Guardian Beast. Sensing the power of this move, the wind, spirit guardian beast tried to dodge, but the ice cone was too fast and grazed its wing, leaving a deep wound. The wind, spirit guardian beast let out an angry roar. The wind, a tribute spiritual power around its body, surged wildly, and it used the storm vortex. A huge storm vortex formed in the valley, sucking Sumu and the others in. Everyone struggled to resist in the vortex, and spiritual power lights flickered. Sumu knew that this situation couldn't continue. He concentrated all his energy and used the most powerful move that combined the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss and the Ice Spirit Holy Staff. Spiritual Abyss, Ice, Wind Judgment. A multicolored light containing powerful ice, wind power shot out from his hand and hit the center of the storm vortex. Under this powerful blow, the storm vortex dissipated instantly. Seeing that its move was broken, a trace of fear flashed in the eyes of the winged spirit guardian beast, but it still didn't show its territory and prepared to launch a final attack. At this moment, Sumu felt a strange fluctuation coming from the eye of the spiritual abyss, as if guiding him to communicate with the winged spirit guardian beast. Sumu tried to transmit the idea of peace and protecting the spirit fantasy realm to the wind. Spirit guardian beast through the eye of the spiritual abyss. The winged spirit guardian beast felt the message transmitted by Sumo. The fierce light in its eyes gradually dissipated, and the winged attribute spiritual power around its body became stable. Taking this opportunity, Sumo stepped forward and said softly, "We have no intention of harming you. We just need to use the artifact here to stop the evil conspiracy of the mysterious force. I hope you can help us." The wind, spirit guardian beast seemed to understand Sumo's words. It nodded, then led Sumo and the others to a hidden cave in the valley. Inside the cave, an artifact emitting a soft cyan light, the winged spirit feather fan, was quietly suspended. Sumo approached the winged spirit feather fan. The moment he touched the fan, a powerful winged attribute spiritual power poured into his body. Sumu circulated the spiritual power in his body, trying to tame this spiritual power. After some effort, he successfully established a connection with the winged spirit feather fan and took it for his own use. However, on the side of Lingyan Mountains, the team led by the elders of Lingxi Town encountered numerous difficulties. The flame, attribute, spiritual power in the mountains was strong. There were many flame spirit beasts, and the terrain was complex. Soon after entering the mountains, they were attacked by a group of flame wolves. The flame wolves were huge in size, with raging flames burning around their bodies. They roared and pounced towards everyone. The elders of Lingxi Town quickly used the spiritual rock barrier. Huge rock barriers rose up instantly, blocking the attacks of the flame wolves. But there were so many flame wolves. They kept charging at the rock barriers, and the flames burned down the barriers, making them gradually weaken. A young cultivator tried to launch a counter-attack. He used the spiritual water impact. A huge stream of water rushed towards the flame wolves. However, the flames of the flame wolves were too intense, and the water was evaporated before it could get close to them. Just as everyone was in a difficult situation, the elders of Lingxi Town discovered the attack pattern of the flame wolves. They quickly directed everyone to launch a counter-attack during the gaps in the flame wolves' attacks. The cultivators unleashed various spiritual power moves to attack the flame wolves. For a moment, the flame wolves were thrown into chaos. However, before they could catch their breath, a huge flame kiln slowly walked out from the depths of the mountains. The flame kiln was emitting a powerful flame, attribute spiritual power, and its appearance caused the surrounding temperature to rise sharply. The flame kiln opened its big mouth and spat out a huge pillar of flames, blasting towards everyone. The elders of Lingxi Town knew the power of this blow very well. He quickly used the spiritual fantasy guardian barrier to protect everyone inside. The pillar of flames hit the barrier, bursting out with dazzling light. The barrier trembled violently under the powerful impact, and fine cracks appeared on it. In this critical moment, can the elders of Lingxi Town lead everyone to resist the attack of the flame kiln and successfully obtain the artifact? Can Sumo and the others meet up with them in time and jointly deal with the subsequent actions of the mysterious force? Everything is full of suspense, making people can't help but worry about them. The elders of Lingxi Town knew very well that the spiritual fantasy guardian barrier couldn't hold on for long. He was extremely anxious, and his eyes quickly scanned the companions around him, trying to find a way to break the situation. At this time, a cultivator who was good at water, attribute spiritual power, had an idea and shouted loudly, "Elder, we can try to use water. Attribute spiritual power to weaken the flames of the flame kiln." Hearing this, a glimmer of hope flashed in the elder's eyes. He immediately nodded and said, "Good, everyone, listen up, concentrate the water. Attribute spiritual power. You lead the Shijian of the spiritual water torrent, and the others continue to maintain the barrier, and by time, that cultivator quickly mobilized his own spiritual power and guided several other companions who were good at water, attribute spiritual power to gather their spiritual power together. A surging blue spiritual water torrent rushed out from their hands like a roaring water dragon charging towards the pillar of flames of the flame kiln. The spiritual water torrent collided with the pillar of flames, and a huge homing sheng instantly erupted. Steam filled the air, shrouding the entire area in a white mist. The power of the pillar of flames of the flame killing was indeed weakened under the impact of the spiritual water torrent, but it seemed to be enraged. It let out a earth-shattering roar, and the flames around its body soared again. The pillar of flames became even thicker and continued to blast towards the barrier. Increase the output of spiritual power. Don't let the barrier break, the elder shouted. His forehead was already covered with sweat, but his eyes were still firm. Everyone gritted their teeth and fully circulated their spiritual power to maintain the spiritual fantasy guardian barrier. However, more and more cracks appeared on the barrier, and it was on the verge of breaking at any moment. At this critical moment, the flame killing suddenly stopped attacking. Its gaze passed over everyone and looked behind. Everyone followed its gaze and saw that Sumu and the others arrived in time. Sumu held the Wind Spirit feather fan and quickly waved it, using the Wind Spirit flame extinguishing storm. A powerful Cyan storm swept over. The storm contained wind, attribute spiritual power that could restrain flames, quickly dispersing the flames around the flame killing. Sensing the threat, the flame kiln turned around and pounced towards Sumu and the others. Sumo didn't back down. He circulated various spiritual powers in his body, integrating the powers of the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss, the Ice Spirit Holy Staff, the Shadowy Spirit Chain, and the Wind Spirit Feather Fan, and used the Spiritual Abyss Myriad Phenomena Feather Slash, a multicolored and powerful feather-shaped blade containing strong spiritual power shot towards the flame kiln. The flame kiln tried to resist. It spat out an even more powerful flame shield, but the feather-shaped blade was extremely powerful. It instantly penetrated the flame shield and hit the flame kiln. The flame kiln let out a painful roar. Its body swayed a few times and it fell heavily to the ground. Seeing this, everyone quickly surrounded it. Although the flame kiln was injured, it still looked at everyone vigilantly. Sumu once again transmitted the idea of peace to the flame kiln through the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss and indicated that they were obtaining the artifact to protect the spirit fantasy realm and fight against the mysterious force. The flame kiln seemed to feel Sumu's sincerity. Its eyes gradually became gentle. Then it slowly got up and led everyone to a flame cave deep in the mountains. Inside the cave, an artifact emitting a blazing red light, the flame spirit battle axe, was quietly placed on a huge rock. Sumu approached the flame spirit battle axe and felt the powerful flame attribute spiritual power contained in it. He circulated his spiritual power, trying to establish a connection with the flame spirit battle axe. However, the spiritual power of the flame spirit battle axe was extremely wild, constantly in Sumu's spiritual power defense line. Sumo gritted his teeth, concentrated, used the reverse, times spiritual power to stabilize his own spiritual power, and at the same time used the gentle characteristics of the spiritual, spring spiritual power to seize the wild spiritual power of the flame spirit battle axe. After arduous efforts, Sumu finally successfully tamed the flame spirit battle axe and took it as his own. Now, 4 of the 5 ancient spiritual power artifacts had been gathered. Sumo and the others quickly returned to Lingxi Town with the artifacts. However, as soon as they returned to Lingxi Town, they received a shocking piece of news. Somehow, the mysterious force learned about their progress in obtaining the artifacts and launched a general attack on Lingxi Town in advance. The Dark Army surged towards Lingxi Town like a tide, and the defense formation of Lingxi Town was already on the verge of collapse under the fierce attack of the enemy. Sumo looked at the densely packed enemies outside the city and said firmly, "Everyone, don't panic. We have gathered for artifacts, which is our advantage. Now, we need to use the power of these artifacts to give the enemy a head-on blow." With that, Sumo and the elders of Lingxi Town quickly formulated a battle plan. They decided to activate the spiritual fantasy star Guardian Grand Array and strengthen the formation with the power of the 4 artifacts. Sumo stood at the core position of the formation and injected the powers of the Eye of the Spiritual Abyss, the Ice Spirit Holy Staff, the Shadowy Spirit Chain, the Wind Spirit Feather Fan, and the Flame Spirit Battle Axe into the formation. With the injection of the artifact powers, the spiritual fantasy star Guardian Grand Array shone brightly. The originally dim star-shaped shield became dazzling, and its power increased greatly. The attacks of the Dark Army hit the shield, bursting out with dazzling light, but the shield remained as solid as a rock. Seeing this, the leader of the mysterious force was furious. He ordered the Dark Army to break through the defense at all costs, and at the same time sent dark mages to cast a powerful dark forbidden spell. A huge black spiritual power beam shot towards Lingxi Town, targeting Sumu, the core of the spiritual fantasy star Guardian Grand Array. Sumu felt the powerful power of this black spiritual power beam. He quickly waved the Flame Spirit Battle Axe and used the Flame Spirit Reverse Time Slash. A huge battle, Axe Shadow containing Flame and Reverse. Time's spiritual power went to meet the black spiritual power beam. At the same time, with the help of the power of the Wind Spirit Feather Fan, he used the Wind Spirit Acceleration to increase the speed of the battle. Axe Shadow. The battle Axe Shadow collided with the black spiritual power beam, and a deafening Zhixiang erupted. The powerful spiritual power impact caused the surrounding space to distort. The battle Axe Shadow gradually gained the upper hand in a confrontation with the black spiritual power beam, and finally shattered the black spiritual power beam. Seeing that his attack was broken, the leader of the mysterious force was both shocked and angry. He knew that the strength of Sumo and the others was no longer what it used to be. If he didn't come up with a countermeasure as soon as possible, this attack would surely fail. Just as he was thinking about the countermeasure, a commotion suddenly came from the Dark Force. It turned out that while the Dark Army was fully attacking Lingxi Town, the illusory figure led an elite team to bypass to the rear of the Dark Army and launched a surprise attack. The rear defense of the Dark Army was relatively weak. Under the surprise attack of the illusory figure and the others, it was immediately thrown into chaos. Seeing this, Sumo seized the opportunity and shouted to the people in Lingxi Town, "Everyone, listen up! Launch a counter, attack while they're in chaos." Under the leadership of Sumu, the people in Lingxi Town activated the attack mode of the spiritual fantasy star Guardian Grand Array. Countless bright spiritual power beams shot out from the star-shaped shield and shot towards the Dark Army. Caught in a pincer attack, the Dark Army was immediately thrown into chaos, suffering heavy casualties. Seeing this, the leader of the mysterious force knew that the situation was hopeless. Helplessly, he could only order a retreat. The Dark Army fled Lingxi Town in a sorry state like a pack of defeated dogs. The people in Lingxi Town cheered as they watched the Dark Force leave, but Sumu knew that the mysterious force surely wouldn't give up. They must complete the artifact integration as soon as possible to deal with a more powerful crisis. Everyone, don't let your guard down. The mysterious force will surely come back. We need to complete the artifact integration as soon as possible to enhance our strength, Sumu said. Everyone nodded and started to prepare for the artifact integration. However, artifact integration is not an easy task. It requires a specific ceremony and precise spiritual power control. Sumu and the elders of Lingxi Town carefully studied the clues about artifact integration obtained before and formulated an integration plan. What difficulties will they encounter during the integration process? What actions will the mysterious force take while they are integrating the artifacts? Everything is full of unknowns, making people can't help but worry about their fate. The story continues. More exciting content is coming up. Subscribe as soon as possible.